Hey everyone, thanks for joining me for another comparison video. Today I'm comparing three different Telecaster bridge pickups, and they are all Alnico 2 magnet pickups. The first pickup is one of my all-time favorites, the Lollar 52 Telecaster bridge. The second one is a Jerry Donahue by Seymour Duncan, and the third is an Alnico 2 Pro Tele bridge by Seymour Duncan. If you're into these videos, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the alert button to know when I put out new videos, and comment. Let me know what you thought of the comparison. I love talking tone with everyone and appreciate all the awesome comments and messages I get asking me about tone. It's super fun to just talk about this stuff. So yeah, it helps me out a lot if you hit all those buttons. So I found in the last few years that the common denominator in most of the pickups I really love is they're all Alnico 2. Especially in single coils that have just a magnetic pole rather than bar magnets underneath with steel poles. But even in other pickups, I really find that the strength of the Alnico 2 magnet really lends itself well to like a more spongy feel. It's a little warmer sounding, and it's just lets the amp do some of the work because they're not quite as high output as many Alnico 5 pickups. I know we could get into a big debate about magnet strength and how you can degauss Alnico 5 to be the strength of Alnico 2. From what I know, I just tend to really love Alnico 2. As with all my comparison videos, I really try to make it an even playing field, so I have the same exact amp settings within each style for all the pickups. For this video, I was running through my Swart Atomic Junior straight into the amp, and then through a Universal Audio aux right into Logic. Just to let you know, I did have another pickup that I did some comparisons with, and I lost all my files on my computer after I did a bunch of these comparisons, and I was able to recover the audio files perfectly. The video files I was able to recover, and they have a few blips in them because they had to be like reconstructed after I recovered them from my hard disk. So like I said, the audio files were, when I recovered them, they were fine. But you'll notice a few blips in the video. But for now, I'll talk more in the back end about what I thought, but let's get into some tones. The other clips that I recorded that I was not able to recover for some reason were clips of the Seymour Duncan Antiquity pickup that uses Alnico 2. I can't recall offhand, but one of the Antiquity Tele bridges is Alnico 2, the other is Alnico 5, and I recorded those clips and I don't have them. I actually still have the pickup, but I don't have this guitar anymore. It was a Partscaster Tele, and if you do Partscasters, you know that sometimes you just shuffle them around until you find the right one. That wasn't quite the right one for me, but I started building another one, and I still have the 52, and I still have that Antiquity bridge pickup because it was really cool. So I'll put out a comparison between those two. The other thing that I'm going to have out for you this week is that same 52 Lollar in the Telecaster I did in this video against that 52 again, but in my Novo Mirrors T. So you can hear the difference between that pickup in two different guitars, two very different guitars, different woods, different bridge, all kinds of different things. So that would be kind of fun. All right, hope that was helpful. Other than the Lollar 52, I really wasn't familiar with the Donahue pickup or the Alnico 2 Pro from Seymour Duncan, but to me these pickups were clearly different and kind of stacked up. Like the Alnico 2 Pro was seemingly the lowest output with the least mids and bass, and it had the most treble. Then the 52 was kind of in the middle with plenty of treble, plenty of mid, and a really nice warm low end, and the low end and the mids were very warm on that 52. That's one of the things I love about it so much. But it has a really nice clear top end. That's really cool about the 52. And it had just a little bit more output than the Alnico 2 Pro. Then you have the Donahue, which really was a very, very warm pickup. It didn't have quite the brightness that the 52 or the Alnico 2 Pro had, but it had such a warm, thick mid-range and into some bass, and it was kind of like a tighter bass. So that leads me to believe that the Donahue was probably wound a little hotter than the 52 and the Alnico 2 Pro. So you get a little less of the high end, you get a little bit more of the low end, and you get more of the mids. And usually when you have like a little bit more overwind, it tightens up the bass a little bit. And you can tighten up the bass in a couple different ways. What I'm talking about is like the Lollar 52 has a little bit more loose, kind of relaxed low end where it's more of a dynamic thing, how the bass responds to the dynamics. With the Duncan, the Donahue, it seemed like the bass was really tight with the rest of the frequencies. It didn't bloom as much as the 52, so it had just a different response that way. If you're looking for a lot of twang, I would really recommend the Alnico 2 Pro out of these three pickups. It seemed to have the most twang to it. The mid-range was kind of focused in a very twangy frequency range. If you're looking for a really sweet, all-around great sounding pickup, I can't recommend the 52 enough. And if you're looking for something with just a little more power, that doesn't have as much brightness, kind of tames the brightness a little bit more than the 52, then the Donahue is a great way to go. As I mentioned before, I do have a Seymour Duncan Antiquity that uses the Alnico 2 that I'm going to compare against the 52 as well. I also have a cool 52 that Lollar did a 5% overwind on a 52, which was kind of a funny thing because they said it would basically just be like their vintage wind with Alnico 2 slugs. So instead of Alnico 5, which they do in their vintage. So anyway, I might put that overwound 52 in the mix so you can hear kind of what it sounds like if you overwind that 52. I might put that in with the Antiquity. But yeah, look out next week for the video that compares the 52 in both this Partscaster and my Novo Mirrors T, so you can hear that same pickup in two different guitars. And then some more comparisons coming up in the future. Let me know if you have any ideas for comparisons. I'm not getting free stuff from any companies at this point, so it's a little tough. I have to find stuff used a lot of times and then resell it to make sure that I don't go broke doing this and that I can keep it going. But yeah, helps out a lot if you subscribe and keep watching the videos. So appreciate it. I'll see you next video. Bye-bye.